Well, that was fucking bad.
I think bad is an understatement.
They were horrible.
Atrocious.
Horrific.
Incredibly poor.
Fantastic.
Outstandingly terrible.
Stupendously asinine.
Smoke's gonna start coming out the ears if I go any further. It's not gonna happen.
Well,
shambolic. Sorry to cut you off.
Fair. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys did not bet on us to win on
Anything.
Saturday.
Score.
Do anything. But you know what you should do is check out our sponsor for today's episode. Do you like free money? I know I do. BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and way more.
BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone.
Head to the website, betonline.ag, or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Again, that's promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit.
BetOnline, where the game starts.
So make sure you check your local laws, state regulations, and all that bullshit to know that you're following the rules and you're not fucking OCFTV over. Yes, Owen, that means you. Again.
Yeah. As we're sitting here watching, was it Luis Robert Jr.?
Yep. Home run derby, dinger derby.
Yeah.
Rake out 27.
Damn. Well, Adley's going out first round. That's tough.
Yeah. You know, it isn't tough. Well, actually,
I don't even know what else is tough.
If you're not subscribed, that's tough. Make sure you're subscribed. We're aiming for 500 subscribers in the next, let's say by the end of the MLS season, we want 500 subscribers. So
help us.
Let's make it happen. Like our videos, share it with your friends, and make sure that subscription button is hit. Let's hit 500 by the end of the season, and we will keep making content.
Yeah. Not like we were going to stop if we don't, but it would definitely help us out a lot. So please hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell every time we post. Check out the video. Even if it's a clip, it's a short, something like that, it will let you know when we post so you can be the first to see it, first to interact. Because we've got some exciting stuff that is coming on the way. So you really want to pay attention to all our socials and our YouTube to be the first to get on top of some of the stuff that's coming out. So, but you know what was not the first to get on top of stuff was Orlando City.
Oh.
We'll just get this over with before we talk about the men's national team. We'll end on a high note.
I think I had an intuition about how the game was going to go, and I didn't even know it. I was sitting at home. We didn't do the watch along. It was kind of nice to just sit and chill. But it just had to be this game that happened with. And before the game, I said, I need alcohol to deal with this team. And I didn't even know that we were going to lose 4-0. I'm like, you know what? We're on the road. Road form hasn't been fantastic for the last couple of matches, but no one expected a 4-0 thrashing from RSL.
We usually get results away. That's the one thing we have done consistently this year. This was a fucking shock, right? I'm fine if we get beat 1 or 2-0, you know? But to get fucking thrashed 4-4 doesn't sit well.
No one expected it. Just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it in the group chat that only Orlando City can win 4-0 and lose 4-0 in a span of
3
5 days.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was not a good showing. Like, we talked about Toronto not being up for a professional football match against us on 4th of July. We were not up for a professional football match against RSL on Saturday.
Kind of just bit us in the ass saying
that.
Shit, I don't even think we were ready for a fucking plane flight over there.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck happened from the end of Tuesday to the start of the game Saturday fucked us over.
There are a good amount of talking points from this match. The first one I'm going to bring up is it's not an excuse, but it is saying the altitude had to affect the way that we played or how the players felt. Now, could we have done better prepared for that? Absolutely. I think you see it, MLB, maybe even NFL teams. You can sleep in like tents that get you used to the
elevation,
elevation.
and stuff like
Thank
that.
you. Yeah. And I mean, if we don't have the money for that, if Poppy was just like, no, deal with it. If whatever the situation was, they put us there. It was obviously the wrong thing to do because no one had any energy from the 60th minute on. It was dead.
60th. No one had any energy from 15 on.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like,
there was a distinct difference in the second half.
there was a distinct difference from the whistle blown. Let's be real.
Also true.
So,
Yeah, I mean, preparation didn't seem like it was the best. I mean, there's those altitude training masks that you can put on, and an entire training session wear those and get used to breathing in restricted air and stuff like that. So who knows if that stuff was being used and we were preparing the best, but yeah, it was not good. I will give, the altitude some credit as to why we didn't perform well, but I don't know, man. Like, we just need to be better.
Yeah. I think looking at this right now, I'm looking at the lineup from the 4-0 win against Toronto on Tuesday and
It's the exact same.
4-0 loss. And it is the exact same lineup.
It's the exact same.
Then the second point is, how do you expect the same 11 to go out there 5 days after they just won 4-0? I guess you could say it was an easier match. Maybe they didn't expend as much energy as you would think. But you're still playing at a professional level. You're still going to be tired. You're going to be sore. And you're going into elevation. So the planning just wasn't there to try to go in and win.
I mean, it's 5 days. It's not like we're talking about a 3-day turnaround.
I mean, and let's not forget that we also played a game on Saturday too. So in 7 days, we played a total of 3 games.
I mean,
even in high school, like when we did that shit, it was fucking grueling. So to do that at a professional level, to go from Florida humidity up to Utah, and that the change of scenery and temperature, whatever the fuck's going on over there, it's a massive difference in the span of 7 days.
Sorry, I'll let you go in a second. The only change from the 3 lineups that we had in 7 days was the Chicago match on Saturday, and that was Mo dropping back into the 8, Ojeda being the 10. And then the Toronto match and the RSL match, Mo moved up to the 10, and Araujo came in and played that 8 role again, or 6 role, however you want to say it is. So one change in 3 matches in the span of 7 days. Any club in the world, that's probably never happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not ideal, but we did see a lot of rotation in all 3 matches. Like, we do have to be fair. Like, there were players that were playing 60 minutes, maybe. You know what I mean? In the 58th minute, we're seeing people come off. We're seeing a lot of changes. Again, like, yeah, we had 3 matches in a short span of time, but we didn't take our opportunities. Like, moral of the story is it was just not good enough.
Yeah.
Like, we can make all the excuses in the world. We can come up with all the reasons why, but when you don't beat the person across from you, it's just never going to happen. When you're just not better than the person in front of you, you're not going to be able to win. When you see the same player lose his man twice on a set piece, just in no man's land, it's not going to happen. Like, you have to be better than that.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point with Caesar on their 2 first goals. He lost both his man. Well, I guess on the first one, I think it was a Chicho goal.
Yep.
Where he just didn't even really try to jump. Maybe he was looking at the ref trying to get a foul off of Chicho, but there was no foul there. And then the second one was Justin Glad, and he even wrapped around Justin Glad and spun him, and then the ball still found Justin Glad's head, and fair play to him, being fouled, and he still put the ball in the back of the net, but it just wasn't good enough from Caesar. It didn't look like he wanted to win the ball. He was just more worried about. I don't even know what he was more worried about.
This is shit you yell at high schoolers for. Man marking. This is shit you yell at middle schoolers for, right?
Yeah.
Mark your man. This is something that he should have known from what age, whenever he started playing, right? Mark your man on a corner. You cannot let him get past you. If he does, try something to stop him from, going up for it at least. But he did absolutely nothing, and that just boils down to mental preparation.
Technically, he did try to stop Justin Glad from winning the header, literally pulling him around. But fouling somebody in the box is not the smartest way to go about
But
that.
no, but going up for a challenge in the air
Yeah, he didn't
is
either
what I'm
time.
saying. He didn't do any of that. And I don't know how you're losing your man to begin with. You're a fucking professional. You got to be better than that.
Well, and that's like the basis of what my thing is like I'm done making excuses for professional athletes. I'm done making excuses for professional athletes. You guys make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do something that we would all love to do. You train 5-6 days a week to do this shit. You spend 7 days a week watching film. You spend 7 days a week doing mental preparation. You're in the right mindset. Like, take your opportunities. Be better than the person in front of you. At the end of the day, like altitude and all that aside, you're a professional athlete. You have all the resources in the world at your disposal. You have to be better.
Mm-hmm. You know, anything else on Caesar before trying to move it on? All right.
Just be better. I mean, it's like we talked about, though. It's has a couple of great performances and then just drops a shitter in the middle of it. Just he needs to get that consistency in his game.
I think everybody dropped a shitter on Saturday night, to be fair. Then I don't want this to seem like an absolute overreaction, but does this also come back to what? Are you just playing with tape?
Just continue.
Does this come back to Oscar in the slightest bit? The record against playoff teams hasn't been great. We have one win against playoff teams the whole of this season. But we just had, I think it was a 1 loss in 11 streak before this. So, but we were playing weaker teams. So does it come back to us not being able to beat good teams, as in playoff teams, or was this just like a blip and we don't really need to worry about it, just move on, everybody makes mistakes kind of game?
Well, I mean, I feel like the mentality across the team has to be on to the next. Like, we can't dwell on this. Like, yeah, we just got thrashed, but you got to move on. We play again in a couple of days. Like, get your heads back on. But yeah, I mean, you're the manager of the team. You have to take some responsibility, especially when your team goes out and gets absolutely dismantled like we did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we, looked completely awful. Like, there were bright points in that game. Like, we had our opportunities, like I said, but three games. I'm sorry, this is distracting. This man is just
welcome to Vladdy Jr. hitting. So,
3 games in a short span of time. We need to see, like you said, more rotation. Whether it's the starting lineup or it's people coming out at half, but we need to see that rotation. We need to see players coming on and off the field. Like, we did see it, but it's typical Oscar later subs. Like, it's got it. We have to have more rotation. We have to have better preparation, because you can, as a professional coach, as a professional player, you can never go out there and put in the performance that we did on Saturday. It's just unacceptable.
it's just downright embarrassing. That's what that is.
Oh, absolutely.
To get slaughtered by 4, that's something we were making fun of Toronto for.
Mm-hmm.
And for that to just come back full circle 5 days later, it's just embarrassing. That's just what it is.
So RSL, very good team this year. We lose 4-0. We beat Toronto, Chicago. Those are both not the best teams. Seattle's on a downtrodden year. That's a draw. Philly's been up and down this year. Draw. Then we come to New England. Lose 3-1. Also a good team. We beat Colorado, who is, I think, bottom below Miami now. So they're literally last in the league. Red Bulls have been not great this year. That was a 3-0 win. And then Atlanta, draw. Beat Miami. Draw NYCFC. Draw Columbus. Lose to Charlotte. I don't even want to go past that. So we've seen the same kind of pattern of draw or lose to good teams, and then you can also say draw or beat bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we harped on Oscar. We were all Oscar out, and I think I said in the group chat after that game, the Chicago game and Toronto game kind of blinded me of the fact that maybe Oscar is here to stay. Maybe we can get on the right track, and you just need a little bit of time. But then RSL might have been just a wake-up call as to say, no, this isn't good enough. we need a better coach who can get us past the hurdle of being able to beat the better teams in the league and not just thrive on the worst teams and getting 3 points off of the bottom half of the table.
So yeah, I can definitely see that perspective, and I agree. He needs to take responsibility for what happened on Saturday, but it's not all on him. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be better as a team. Like I said, we have to take our opportunities. We have to take our chances. We have to just beat the person in front of us. We saw two of our best players to ever put on the kit, and Antonio Carlos and Robin Janssen, get absolutely destroyed out there. They just looked pitiful, lost. Rafael Santos with some of the worst delivery we've seen from him all year. Duncan with one shot, and that shot was absolutely pitiful in the first 13 seconds of the game.
It went just wide of the post. That was pretty good.
No, the only shot he had on target, I'm sorry. He had 3 shots, 1 on target, and it was straight at the keeper within the first 13 seconds, I feel like, was that the one
that was the one that went wide?
So then there was another opportunity that he just sent straight at the keeper. Like, to be our number 9, you have to be better. Like, we get on Kara week in and week out for it. Got to get on the guy that's in there right now.
But, I mean, how much of that also boils down to the service, right? We've had the same excuse for Carr already. He hasn't been getting the service. The service in that RSL game was horrible.
No, absolutely.
The delivery from Santos, I mean, I was singing his praises a couple of days ago. It's kind of the same with Caesar, right? He had a couple great games. This game was fucking horrible. The delivery in the box was atrocious. Every ball he tried to find was just wrong. And so...
Yeah, no, definitely.
That definitely doesn't help Duncan's case.
No, but it's the same argument that we made for Kara is when those opportunities present themselves, you have to capitalize. And we know he's one of the best finishers in the league. So we expect that from him, to be honest. Like, he's proven he can do that. When he gets his chances, he's going to take them. And just not see him do that on Saturday. Like, yeah, everybody dropped a pitiful performance, but the criticism has to go both ways, is all I'm saying.
No, I agree. Before we started talking about Duncan, you were saying that Robin and Antonio dropped shitters, and then we kind of moved on to Duncan. But I was just looking; both of them played the full match against Toronto and Chicago. There was 0 rotation for them, so that was what would technically be their 270 minutes of football in 7 days. Like, that just doesn't happen, and that could definitely be the same for other players on the pitch. Those are just the 2 that you brought up, 2 that I noticed. No Schlegel rotation. Didn't see, I think Abdi Salim is still hurt. No Thomas Williams. There was 0 rotation for them. So, if, like, you can't play 3 games.
Especially for people that are getting up there in age that I think you've mentioned it too. You've got to do something about that.
It's like Mo. Imagine Mo playing 270 minutes.
I agree. I mean, Antonio was absolutely gassed at the end of that game. You could see him hands on knees, like, gassed. He had nothing left in the tank. But that's been our kryptonite, I will say. I feel like as an Orlando City fan for forever is we do not rotate our center back pairing.
It's just the 2.
Like, we consistently see Antonio Carlos and Janssen put in 1,000-minute seasons for us.
Well, I mean, if it's a game once every week, fine. But if you got a midweek match, you got to find rotation somewhere.
Yep, and we don't do that.
Nope.
So, never have, and it seems like we never will. So,
I don't get why, because, like, we've seen Kyle play center back, we've seen Schlegel play center back. I still want to see more from Thomas Williams. I don't know why he hasn't seen any game time at all.
So, that's a concern that I've started to have, but I'm not letting it bother me too much. But I feel like we see such great development coming from the B team and our academies and stuff like that, and then they sign these first-team contracts, and then that's the last we hear from him.
He signed one last year, right? I haven't heard from him again.
Like we saw with Wilfredo Rivera. We saw it with Benji for a while, but he finally found a way to break into the team. Like,
he was out of the draft. Was he? He was drafted because he came.
He wasn't drafted, but he was a homegrown technically because either way, like, I don't know, like we sing Oscar's praises for his development and the fact that he can build up academies in the youth development and stuff like that. But
We've seen 3 debuts this year.
we've seen 3
For
debuts,
what, 5
but
minutes?
like,
That's it.
If 5 minutes, yeah.
and will we ever see them again? You know what I
I
mean?
think we have a chance to see an Alex Freeman in the future.
I hope.
Will we? I mean, I thought the
think-
same thing about Thomas Williams at the start of preseason last year.
I mean, I think he's still. I don't know about this last window, but I think he's still getting called up to whichever U17,
US.
U19, U21, whichever one it is, U.S. men's national team. So if he's getting calls for that, then
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have to let him take it, but
then shouldn't
No, but how's he not
getting into
getting any
offers?
minutes at
Yeah.
all?
right.
Yeah.
I'm not freaking out about it. I'm not saying it's a big thing, but it's definitely something for us to start
Mhm.
paying more attention to. Is that, like, I don't know, are we stunting these kids' development by signing them to first team contracts? Like,
send
if-
him out on loan.
if they're not ready, let them get minutes. Send them out on loan.
I mean, they're playing in OCB, but you could also send them out on loan to, I guess, other MLS sides that are maybe not as good.
I mean, even if it's USL sides, like it's
Yeah.
a change of
Say it's a
scenery.
higher level.
It's a change of scenery. It's a new squad. It's having to adapt. That does more to your development than playing for the B team.
And maybe just sitting on the bench for the A team. That's
I mean, the only real benefit that you have keeping them on OCB is that you can call them up when needed, rather than when they're out on loan.
Mhm.
But if you're not going to give them that chance, let them change scenery then.
I guess for like Wilfredo Rivera and Fabian Loyal, in that case, we have enough attacking options, but so they could go out on loan. That's fine. But for Thomas Williams, it's pretty much right now with Abuslim's injury, it's him and Schlegel would be our backup center backs. Maybe Kyle Smith in there. So you can't really send him out on loan when you technically only have one center back right now that could back up.
Right.
So I mean, that's another thing. So sending him or not sending him out on a loan, it's fine. But there are players that I would like to see get more minutes somewhere else and just see their development. I mean, as a Chelsea fan, that's what I've grown up knowing is the loan army and having like 50 somewhat players out on loan each season.
Letting them have their chances.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I mean, we definitely have that opportunity. I mean, even with players like Jack Lynn. Like,
Get him in the first team, please. Scored again yesterday.
You know what?
6-2 loss.
6-2 loss.
yeah, that was also pitiful.
It was Alex Freeman and Jack Lynn with the goals.
Orlando City on OCB losing by 4 goals.
Yeah.
Plus.
4 goals.
So,
I have one more thing I was going to say with the young lads.
You forgot
But
what it was.
it's slipped my mind.
do you have any other talking points from that game?
No, but I really want to remember what I was going to say.
Well, if it comes back,
I don't
do,
know. Yeah, go ahead.
do you want to talk about the men's national
Oh,
team?
let's do top 2, bottom 1 first.
Top
Sure.
2.
Sorry, top 1, bottom 2.
There's no
I've been
top.
I've been so used to the whole top 2, bottom 1 after the past couple weeks.
So start with bottom 2.
There's no top 1 for me.
Yeah, I'll start. We said starting with bottom.
Or we can start with top since you said there is no top.
I'll start with bottom. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck you. I'll run the show. My first bottom one is Caesar.
Yeah.
You can't let your man run free twice in the span of 10 minutes maybe. Like there has to be a change that happens after the first one minimum. Second one is Miles Robinson. A handball twice.
Got away with one.
Fucking ass. No. Again.
No, he did get away
Drop
with
the shitter.
The first one wasn't called.
It was a
because
ham. No,
Lucio
it
got pushed.
he still got called, but because of the foul, he got off scot-free.
That's fair.
So he still pointed at the spot, but
VAR came back.
he got bailed out.
So, I second that. I'll get behind both of those. Honorable mention to Robin Janssen. Dishonorable mention to Robin Janssen.
Dishonorable mention, yeah.
Another honorable mention to Zendejas.
Zendejas.
Oh, yeah.
Horrid.
That boy.
Zendejas.
Horrid.
Zendejas.
Him and Jesus Ferreira.
Yeah. Why the fuck is he on set pieces?
Yeah.
We both
Towards the end of the match, he was.
Yeah. Towards the end, we both looked at each other we didn't look at each other, but We said at the same time, why the fuck is he
Yeah,
here?
what is going on?
He was on a corner, and then he was on a free kick. You're like, what? And both of them were
Oh,
ass.
shit.
It wasn't a Caribbean nation he was playing against, so he couldn't do shit.
Top one.
I haven't done my bottom two.
Oh, sorry.
Damn, jackass. Great movies, by the way. I'm going Robin and Caesar as both of my bottom two. That's fair, but then I'm also giving a shout out, dishonorable mention to Antonio Carlos. I could also give a dishonorable mention to Rafael Santos, Kyle Smith, Wilder Cartagena, Mauricio Pereira, Ivan Angulo, Facundo Torres, and Duncan McGuire. Poppy. So yeah.
Facundo actually had a decent match, but not good enough.
Yeah.
He was like our best player, but it's
Not saying much.
Yeah. In that match, it doesn't say much.
Mm-hmm.
So top one, Dave.
Oh, top one, easily Matt Turner.
Yeah, I thought I was going to go
Save
someone
2
to be Matt Turner.
pens. Oh,
Fantastic.
give me
That's
fucking shivers.
That's my captain.
That should be your starting keeper over in the Prem.
I'm not arguing against it per se. Give Ramsdale a couple of games, and if he slips up, put Matty Boy in there.
Why not give Matt the chance to start?
I don't know. We'll have to see how he comes in preseason and looks during training and stuff.
If Arsenal gives up a pen within 10 minutes of the first game, Ramsdale gone. Sell him. Matt Turner in the game, Ramsdale can fuck off.
We'll take that 70 mil at this point.
70, yeah, for Ramsdale. You're getting max 37.
It's his market value, apparently.
Yeah, and Holland's was 180, and City got him for 60.
He had a release
free,
clause,
basically.
though, I think.
Was this really? Is that how they got him?
I
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure, yeah.
Or was it because there was 1 year left on the contract?
No, I think it
I think it
was
was
a
a
release
release
clause
Good
because
Lord.
there's no way they would have bought him for
He's-
60.
Mbappe's proposed new contract at Madrid, even though they said they're not going to do it, they're just going to wait till
He was on a free.
a $1 billion release clause.
Billion?
$1 billion
Yeah.
release clause.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure that's a
Pedri's on one.
Maybe
It's
Gavi.
Pedri or Gavi, and then I think Vinny or Rodrigo.
I think it's got to be Vinny.
I swear
It could be
it's
both.
Rodrigo. Yeah.
Either way,
All
all
right.
right.
James on that.
So, yeah, we'll get to the high point of this weekend, I guess.
Confusing one.
Men's
High and
national
low
team.
point, low key, because that was fucking stressful as shit.
That was an absolute shit show. Kyle Larin or Richie.
No,
Larea,
Richie
sorry.
Larea can fuck off.
Yeah, that fucking scumbag, frat boy piece of shit.
I feel like he was in Orlando City fans' good graces.
He's not
But now
anymore.
He was. Now he's a fucking rat.
Bro, dude threw the med bag.
Yeah,
Like what are you doing? What did he do to you?
don't know.
Also, Sean Johnson for U.S. men's national team security. He doesn't need to be on the roster.
Facts.
Just give him the security shirt. Let him travel with the team. I'm sure he'll have just as much fun.
I don't know if you guys saw, Tactical Manager.
Yeah.
He put out, it was a tweet and the Instagram post that I saw, and it was his version of the USA A squad, B squad, and C squad. And in the C squad, the keeper said anyone but Sean Johnson. And I have never been more of a fan of any Twitter page or any Instagram page in my life because that man is ass.
No, the
So
best one was the
fucking
one I
ass.
showed you with the number 9 position.
Yeah,
It's
that was
Balogun, whatever, 16.
16
Jesus
different. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I saw one that was like the depth, and it was like Balogun, and then it went down the list, and it literally listed everybody. It was like DK Vasquez.
Yeah.
Like, Brandon Aronson as a striker. Like
13 was like,
We'll start asking fans.
auctioning off. 14th, we're going to ask fans.
Yeah, we'll ask fans if they really want it, and then the last one was anybody but Jesus Ferreira.
Yeah. I mean, it was a scuffed game at best. Gave up the pen from the Miles Robinson handball in the end. Vittoria, I think his name was, put it away, and then Matt Turner came up clutch in the shootout, saving the first two. And then I think they missed their
Final.
Put it high.
Yeah,
hit
off the
crossbar.
bar and
Oh,
down.
crossbar down. Yeah, that's right. So he did put it high, technically. That's kind of right.
Yeah, no, I mean, the balls on Matt Turner on that first pen to literally just be like, put it down the center.
And
Like,
then
I dare you to do it again. I dare you to
Yeah.
fucking do it again.
Oh, was it the same guy? Was it
Yeah.
Vittori?
Yeah, the first pen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
It was the head gains of literally just jumping side to side, like looking at him just standing straight in the center and being like, I'm going to stand my ground right here. Put it down the center and get it past me.
Mm-hmm.
It was prime Manuel Neuer save right there.
Prime, okay. Yeah, let's calm down a little bit.
He had a fucking great shootout, though.
He had a great shootout, but he has been class for us in this, both the Nations League window and the Gold Cup window. His distribution has gotten
so
much better since playing at Arsenal. Like, that's what we use our keepers for. That we expect our keepers to have good distribution. They need to be on the ball. They need to be comfortable on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be so spastic whenever he was on the ball. It was so worrisome. Even if he had the situation under control, it never looked like he had it under control.
Mm-hmm.
So his growth has been huge. And now we're seeing Balogun get an opportunity now with Arsenal in this preseason to get minutes. He's going to be coming here with the MLS All-Star game. He's going to be starting for us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Austin Trusty, you got 3 Americans right there. He could. I'm pretty sure he had a good loan spell wherever he was.
Back in Colorado?
No, he was somewhere. Where was he?
I don't know. We'll see what he does. He'll go back out on loan. That boy, I mean, with Timber and Saliba being the future, that kid's got no shot of breaking into our team. He may be a Rob Holding one day.
I was gonna say that's where. No, he could definitely be there because now that you actually have what's it called, European football again, then you actually need rotation. So if he sits in the first squad, and then you have the 4 center backs of, it would be Gabriel, Timber, Saliba. And Trusty.
Yeah.
He was at Birmingham City.
Still would put Kieran Tierney in there over him, but
you need to get your mentals checked, sir. Wow. That was
anyway,
something.
yeah. So the United States pens. How about Cade Cowell putting it where it needs to be?
Did he put a top right?
No, he just beat the keeper.
No, I forget who that was.
He just
I think it was Jesus.
No, top bins was
someone that I didn't expect. I'm going to find it.
I think it was 4 or 5.
Lucio, right?
Maybe it might have been.
I think it was.
To the bottom right corner was Ferreira. Top right corner was Busio.
That was a pen and a
That
half.
was
Good God.
Beauty. Yeah. I mean, at this point, the only team that stands in our way is Jamaica. Like
Panama, we got to play Panama next.
Panama in
and
the
then it's
semi.
the winner of Mexico,
Jamaica,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jamaica in the final.
Well, I wouldn't say that it's only Jamaica that stands in our way because Canada's broke. We have our C team, and this is this semi-final. So
Yeah, I mean,
Panama's
it's
got here for a reason.
no, right, but that Canada team was not as weak as they like to make it out to be. Like, somebody did the math on the minutes played by all those players in the World Cup, and it was like pushing 1,500 minutes between that squad. You know, between our entire squad, we had like 480 minutes, and 360 of those being Matt Turner.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, it was like 48 minutes played in that World Cup, and 45 of it was Jesus Ferreira doing absolutely nothing. So that squad was not as weak as they like to make it seem. Like, that was definitely like their B-plus team.
Yeah, I mean, so our C team can beat Canada. I just think Panama's going to put up a little bit more fight. They got the South American fight in them rather than the maple syrup fight, I guess you could say.
The good morning there fight.
Good morning.
I mean,
I don't know what that was. I know, but I said good morning. Don't know what that was.
the 31.
I told you.
Julio.
If you use Bet Online, I would have thrown money on Julio Rodriguez
32.
to win.
No, give me polar bear.
No, he's still got the fucking bonus round too.
Give me the polar bear.
No, I'm sorry, but Julio Rodriguez is fucking built different.
Don't care. Polar bear Pete went to Florida. Absolute goat. Home run derby goat.
He is, but I mean, going against the reigning champ.
Don't care. In his hometown, too. Or not hometown, but
Yeah, in his hometown.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got Atlanta Saturday, which is so it's fuck Atlanta week.
It is.
That it is.
They just did you see they had to send Franco Ibarra out on loan to
Yep.
Toronto because they had one of their DPs come back on loan from wherever he was, so they had to send him out on loan, and he's actually been pretty essential to their midfield this year. So they're losing one of their better players and bringing back a guy that they had out on loan. So don't know exactly how that affects Atlanta. I could really care less as long as we win, because fuck Atlanta.
I could get behind that. Definitely needs to be a bounce back game.
Mm-hmm. Be a massive one too against a rival away.
I want this shit to be a fucking statement. I want like a 3. I want us to bounce back and win 4-0 again. Fuck it.
4-0, 4-0.
Yeah. But make a fucking statement. Show that was a one-off game. That was your shot.
I think that's what we saw when we beat Miami in Fort Lauderdale, beat Outer Fort Lauderdale in Fort Lauderdale. But then I guess we went on a good run from there. Now we're here. Yeah.
After that, we drew NYCFC and Atlanta at home.
That was
after being up.
Yeah, because that was before the New England loss, right?
Yeah.
Then I retract that statement. But at that point, we were saying this is a statement game. This is where
could
we're
be a
turning around.
Yeah.
So if we're saying that again, we actually have to make it one this time, or else we're just going to be repeating the same cycle.
Yeah. I mean, we have to hope that we can go out there and do what needs to be done. Again, it's 7 days now, so everybody should be rested and back to where they should be.
Better have been 2 recovery days in a row. Especially for Robin and Antonio.
Yeah.
We're going to need them coming up against our Wilder, Caesar, Robin, and Antonio are all going to have massive games, especially against Thiago Almada. Because that man can be dangerous. And Giacomakis didn't do much against this last match. Didn't really do anything. But if he can have a big game, he can score one, put one away. So we're going to have to see what happens.
This man's about to fucking draw 40. This is stupid.
Oh, that's another one. Maybe not.
That's
I
that's
just saw
one.
27, 24.
That's another one. Yeah, this man is.
Well,
He's not hitting 42.
yes, he is.
Respectfully, if he does,
Shh. No one cares.
go fuck yourself.
Before we get back into the home run derby, you want to close us out? Unless you got anything else to say?
Fuck Atlanta.
Fuck Atlanta.
Fuck Atlanta. You plastic pieces of shit. If you like what you heard here today, make sure you hit that like button, turn on the notification bell, hit that subscribe button. We already said that we want to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, or the end of the season.
Yeah.
So please help us get there. It would mean a ton to us if you share our content. Check us out on Twitter at OCFanTV22, on Instagram at OCFanTV, on TikTok at OCFanTV, now on Threads at OCFanTV. Check us out on there. Facebook as well, OCFanTV. Want to just give another shout out to our sponsor, Bet Online. Make sure you guys check them out. Use that code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get a 50% welcome bonus. And we will see you all on the next one.